Well, folks, I'm sorry about yesterday. I accidentally hit record to stop recording rather than pause. And I can tell you this, okay? There are things I appreciate about OBS over things that I used to do as my trapezes just like clicked for some reason. I don't even know what I did. But there are some things that I appreciate from OBS that I didn't have on the... Oh, I hear the nerd root. Oh, there it is. All right, where's the mud crab? There you are. Did you? No, you're dead. Okay, cool. That I didn't have with the software that I used to use from Elgato. But the pausing thing I like. But the one thing I do not like is that I can't have the game's volume itself lower whenever I talk at a certain level. That pisses me off. That always pisses me off. And it's really piggybacking off of another Elgato software, which is like the 4K 1080 capture. Now, I don't play 4K games specifically, like Metroid Prime 4 was in 4K, but I couldn't record in 4K anyway. My computer can't handle it. And I'm not getting a new computer, and I'm not, rebuilding it. No, fuck that. For like a 40 gig, 50 gig file, get out of here. For what purpose? It makes no difference. So we're going to be doing like this, I think, on dock, this is 1080, which is fine. It looks good on the playback. But anyway, like I accidentally... Oh, shit, this thing. Now I'm going to have a fucking stiff neck. I accidentally hit record, and then I wanted to like fuse the videos together because I don't want to put two together. And I said, screw it. So you missed me walking more. Now I'm only going to probably do this video and tomorrow, and that's it. It depends on what time Elden Ring will be officially released. This game, it took till 11 o'clock. If Elden Ring does that, then I'll probably be able to put a few videos in. I don't want to do like 18 videos in one day. That would make me nuts. But I might do like one of these or whatever. Lies of P, I'm playing on another channel. What is it? Bookman or Book Plays, Long Plays, Switch Plays, whatever. That channel, I don't even know the name of my channel. And I can tell you with full confidence, that's probably the worst game I've ever played. No, I mean, it's not the worst game ever played. It has entertaining value to it. But any of these games that tries to be Dark Souls, like that game completely rips off Dark Souls. And the only thing about Bloodborne that's relative in its presentation is the backdrops are very reminiscent of Bloodborne, but the gameplay is not just it's Dark Souls 1. By Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls controls got better, except for this game. This game has the old Dark Souls 1 controls, and they suck with this game. On top of that, they try to make things harder by giving you absolutely no healing whatsoever. Now, I mean that more dramatically than the literal translation, but it's just atrocious. Because you get stuck. So you'll go through an area, you'll get a cheap death or two, you'll get pissed off, and then, you'll just keep going through the area. The areas are pretty small. You'll get a shortcut in there and everything, and you'll be like, all right, cool, we're good. And then you get to a boss fight, and it's like 800 attempts. And you're going, okay, this is fucking bullshit. Then you get through the 800 attempt boss fight, and you go through another one, and then you go to another area. And the area is pretty rough. But really, when it comes to the areas themselves, there was only one spot that was kind of like an endurance round that made my life somewhat miserable. That I had to do a few times. But for the most part, the mini bosses, which they have a ton of, and the enemies themselves, everything, they're real easy to kill. So it's not a big deal. But then you'll get to these boss fights, and it's like, yo, dude, seriously with this? There was an area that made my life... How the hell did this happen? I can't stand when my friggin' trapeze tightens like this. And I keep trying to massage myself and everything, and it doesn't make any difference. God, I wish I had a woman, a wife. I wouldn't ask for much, just, She had hands that could massage my neck a little bit, make it loosen up a bit, baby. Maybe. Come on, pick it up. Anyway. So, let me see. So to get to that spot, so now I'm at this boss fight where I'm fighting the entire Black Rabbit gang. And you got it. The strategy is more or less kill the dude with the big sword fast, otherwise you'll just get overwhelmed. It's so friggin' obnoxious. I can't stand it. So I've been stuck on it like, I think at least 15 attempts at this point. And look, I have played these games. I haven't on the hardest difficulty, but I've played these games for years, okay? I can just pick that shit up and go to town with it, and yet this game makes it impossible to get through these bosses. And as I said, there's a difficulty level that you can choose everything, and I chose the hardest one. But aside from one spot, which was more or less because of the falling, I've had no issues with the areas themselves. Well, I think I had to go to a temple and pray there or something. Well, this is the Pilgrim's Path. But other than that, I get through the areas, unless I get lost. I get through the areas pretty relatively quickly. But then these fucking bosses, and it's been since like the third one, that they're just atrocious. So that's what Liza P is doing. I was playing that on this channel. We're going to stop that for a while. I'm going to finish this. I'll do a review on my main channel about Lies of P with the DLC. If I get through it on the other channel first, I'll still do it. But we're going to do this till Friday. Friday's Elden Ring. And then from Elden Ring, we're going to go to Fire Emblem. Now, there are some games. What am I doing here? Oh, okay, my fault. There are some games that are coming out in October that I am going to get. I don't know if I'm going to play through them here, if they're just going to be stream games.
Can you help me?
I can help you, baby.
You must be from the Fighters Guild. I'm glad you're here. I need your help to repay a debt.
Does it require me having sex with you?
I'm afraid so. My father had a bit of an issue with gambling. I'm afraid he built up a rather large debt.
I think she's a
He's
Breton.
gone. The debt is mine.
Bretons are typically nice-looking women.
Gone. Dragged from our house in the night. To pay the debt, I'd like to sell the sword and armor of my grandfather, or I might be next.
I'd never let anyone harm you, my love.
A great deal. Over 1,000 septums. My father was quite a gambler.
Don't I have that?
Quite a bad gambler. I am Vienna Amalian.
I don't have that money?
They were buried with my grandfather in the family tomb. The sword and cuirass were enchanted and should cover my debt. Please, get them for me.
I want you instead.
Not far, in my family's ancestral tomb. Here, I can mark it on your map. Please, return them to me so I can pay off my father's debts.
I don't have 1,000 gold I can pay her?
You're my only...
What, 9? Come on, dude. Give her 9. Give her your money. I can sell a friggin' bone and get that. Why does she have to give away an heirloom? I have to rob graves. I just be like, look, I'll give you the money, touch my testicles and penis, and I'll touch your bosom, and, we'll call it a day. It's no big deal. You don't have to have intercourse. It's just touch. It could be like, we could act like it was an accident. Whoops, my hand slipped. And then nobody needs to know. No, can't do that? Jeez, man. It's not cheating, just whatever. It's just, you're not married, I'm not married. Who gives a shit? It's not intercourse. We're not married to each other, so we shouldn't be doing that anyway. It's just like, whoopsie. I'm so bad. I am so bad. I apologize beforehand if I can ever find a woman that wants to procreate with me and marry me and everything. I didn't know you at this point. Please don't watch my videos right now. But I'm so bad. There was a young woman that, at my job, she needed assistance with something. And my whole thing is that I'm obsessed with femininity and women. I'm not sure if you realize that if you watch my video. But, I always say real women wear undergarments. Like any woman that complains about wearing a brassiere is like, okay, I can't get with you. But she was, wearing a workout outfit and everything. I work in a club, gym, and she had like a real looking like brassiere that was underneath her top and everything. So she goes, yeah, can you help me? The bike that I'm using is not connecting to this and it. So I know how to control myself in public, whether you can believe that or not. And I know how to talk to a lady, so it's not like I'm a disrespectful. I might be a disgusting pig, but I'm not disrespectful. And I'm helping her out. I'm like, do you mind if I, because I have to work on this foot strap, and she had I think she was a size 6 or something. Like her sneakers, she had very small feet, which I'm not a foot guy. I like when women have petite builds and stuff like that, and very prominent memories. But femininity. That's what I love. How do you know I'm here? You're headless. Oh, you go to town, dude. So do I. So I'm trying to help her with the strap, and my hand accidentally touches her foot. Okay, she's wearing a sneaker. I'm not whatever. She's wearing shorts. So then I'm trying to help her with something else, and the strap on the pedal and everything, and my hand accidentally rubs against her leg, and I almost had a fucking heart attack. And of course, me, because I'm respectful. I'm a real man. I'm not Issei from fucking high school DxD. That fucking prick I can't stand. But because of that, I apologized, and she said, no, it's no big deal and everything. And I'm going, if you wanted me right now, I would just totally give you my... And she wasn't the most beautiful woman. She just was, a woman. And she had one of those preppy voices, which can kind of, bother you, and would bother me anyway. But she's a woman, and that's all that matters. I've been watching a lot of anime, and I talk about it on my live streams on my main channel. I do an anime update. And I can tell you with full confidence as a writer, as a legit writer, where are you? As somebody that studied art and everything like that. Well, there you are. And time goes by. I don't need you anymore, though, so this is not a romantic thing. This is just you're in my way. Oh, come on with this. Did I lose my willpower or whatever again? Let's see. No, it's replenishing. These weapons are so freaking heavy, apparently, because I'm wearing light armor. So I'm watching a lot of anime. I'm watching 2 shows at a time, and one of the things I love about anime is that because Japan is not a ruthless fascist dictatorship like the United States, their writers can either tell legitimate stories about their society openly, or they can do things that are kind of quiet, a little bit more discreet. And I can tell you with full confidence that... Oh, how many? I only have 5. That Demon Slayer is the best show I've ever seen. That's enough. Oh, it's one of the best shows I've ever seen. It was amazing. Demon Slayer is amazing. If you get a chance to watch Demon Slayer, it's absolutely brilliant. And what it says about Japanese society as a whole is really interesting. I gotta pop the coffin? Oh, come on, dude. I don't have any fucking lockpicks, man. Didn't she give me a key for this? It's not even where I'm supposed to go. I'm supposed to go there. Can I just give you the money? Oh. Yeah, but I've seen My Hero Academia, which was great. I've seen, Hunter x Hunter, which I wasn't really big on. It was okay. It wasn't bad. Like, it's entertaining, but I wasn't too big on it. It did have an ending though of a main story thread that almost made me like tear up because again I'm a hopeless romantic that is still single and shit. So when it came to the Chimera ants and the king and all that, and the young lady that was the exact opposite of him, who as he was unbreakable and super powerful and everything, that she was like sickly and fragile and everything. And the way it ended with them it was absolutely stunning. It really affected me tremendously for a while, for like at least a day. I couldn't get over how like touching it was. But even so, is it worth watching a 200 episodes? I don't know. That's up to you. I've watched Dragon Ball, which I really liked. Dragon Ball Z, I enjoyed, but after a while I was calling it Dragging Ball Z because it just kept going on and on and on. And I can't stand how Goku, who's my favorite character, the Japanese Superman, aside from, of course, Vegeta, voiced over by All Might, Kakarot, I couldn't stand how he keeps leaving Chi-Chi behind. He's such an irresponsible jerk off to his wife, and I can't stand it because I love my Chi-Chi. I love me my Chi-Chi. Even when she was like in her 50s, she was still gorgeous. And you keep leaving her behind. Even Vegeta didn't leave Bulma behind. They even had a daughter like late in life. For some guy named Oob. Who's Majin Buu or Kid Buu reincarnated. But I saw Seven Deadly Sins, which I appreciated. Love my Liz. Love my Dion. Absolutely love my Dion. And of course my Merlin when she's in her womanly form. Bing! Love my Jericho. Love like all the women in that. But like that one kind of teetered off from its original storyline. About true friendship, true camaraderie and everything. And knowing your roots and all that stuff. Defying your parents, more or less. But, the forbidden love and everything. That block took a lot out of me, man. So as much as I appreciated it, it was good. It was really good for a while. Then it was kind of like, it was still good, but it wasn't like, people made it seem like it sucked. I know that the animation wasn't the same. Like that I'm not going to argue. But I don't like those that it seems as if you're coming up with new stuff as you're moving along. Like I appreciate when things stay consistent. That's 11:14 almost. So like out of nowhere it's chaos. That's the problem. I'm going, the hell is chaos? That's why you were into Arthur and all that shit? But I've seen, what else did I watch? Oh, there we are. Now, if I could level up now like in Skyrim, this wouldn't be a problem. You're draining a lot from me, pal. That seems to be everything. Let me just wait a sec. So I've seen Data Live, which was really good. And I just love how they're telling this story you've seen before, where there's this innocent guy and he's all like Japanese proper, which means, you know, a woman slips and her skirt kind of goes up and he's screaming and looking away. A woman comes on to him, he's screaming, looking like I appreciate the concept. Then when I hear some of the things about Japan and the men in there and everything, I'm going, now you know why your fertility rates are low. But whatever the case, and really a lot of you young guys, you're nothing compared to guys my age. You sure as hell not me, that's for sure. When it comes to attraction to women and stuff, and it's not really your fault. You're raised to think women are men, but you know whatever. Especially here in the United States. Well, here in the United States, you're raised to think that. But that was really good, and I watched. What else did I watch on my own? I finished. I watched Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, which was phenomenal. Which again talks about society and beauty standards and how this plain woman could have been a great mother if a guy took her seriously, but because she didn't look good in a maid's outfit, you know, shit like that. No, I don't want to. Yeah, she has to get like a family from like this group of dragons and everything. I watched Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, which the Japanese translation specifically is something like, please don't be a nuisance to me or something. It's something like that. It was something a little bit more involved. But I saw that. I loved that. Loved that. Innocent love is great, even though she kept calling him a virgin. And the best is when he calls her out because she's saying, you want to do indecent things. So he goes, give me an example. And she gets all flustered and she can't come up with anything because she's so innocent. She doesn't know what's like. She's like, you know. He's like, no, I don't. But that was really, I loved that show. That show was really good. Especially when she went to nurse him back to health. And at one point, he says her first name. And she tells him, like, I'll kiss you if you say my name again, please. And he's dreaming of them being married and everything. So that was really good. Wow. How much of this crap do I have? Then me being who I am, I'm like, what's this thing about? What's that? Harem show? So I said, let's put on Data Live, you know. And I figured so I could pay attention to the good stuff, that I would keep it in English dubs. But Data Live was really good. It was really good. Origami's my wife. In love with all those women. Toka, of course. Miku, oh my god, that's my baby. Doesn't like men and is stunning and has a tremendous body. That's my baby. The twins. Reina, like, in love with pretty much all of them. The women ones, anyway. The womanly form of the witch chick, like, totally into that. But Origami is my wife. That's what I want. I want this beautiful young, you know, woman of my people and religious values and background who is just innocent and everything but obsessed with whatever turns me on. Just her whole mission is just to turn me on. And, you know, like, I'd have to tell her, no, I'm not into that. Like, you know. Because for me, that's what I would do. I would be willing to do whatever makes my wife happy. I would like, yeah, all right, that's me. I don't care. Like, I don't have any shame when it comes to you. So that was really good. We watched Solo Leveling, which was fucking phenomenal. That was fucking phenomenal. We just finished Jujutsu Kaisen, which was really good. Very different. I was not expecting what it became. We watched Rising of the Shield Hero, which was really good. Loved Rising of the Shield Hero. And now we're watching Black Clover. That's what we're doing now. So, should be good. It looks like it's really going to be something. And I like the Japanese version of the work hard, rags to riches, which I've mentioned. It's funny how the United States is supposed to be like, God, I love you. It's supposed to be like, oh, we're, land of opportunity. Just work hard, and that's total bullshit. It's total bullshit. You can work as hard as you fucking want. Nobody cares. Here, like, it doesn't matter. I love you, baby.
You found them. Fantastic. I can't tell you what this means to me.
Can I watch you undress and then dress again? Do I have the money? Well, I might as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's a little late for that. You're a bit late for that. I hate when he does that.
You're a lifesaver.
I need you sexually.
I can't tell you how much your help means to me.
You can tell me in oral sex. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm done. Sorry, I'm going to take a break. 1 sec. All right, I'm willing to control myself a little bit more, so let's move on. I mean, really, when you look at the game, we're type 1, type 2, we're not male, female, so the game is trying to be like as asexual as possible. Can't offend people with, what's that term again? Human nature. Oh, I forgot. You can't be human here in the United States. You got to be a fucking machine. A sieve for the corporations. And a moron that doesn't even say, there's of opportunity. Yeah, okay, Dick. Lot of opportunity. You have an opportunity to stay exactly where you are in this strict caste system that even makes the people of India go, man, you guys got it rough. Land of opportunity. But anyway, like I was saying, like that's the thing. The United States claims it's the land of opportunity. Meanwhile, what do they have? Annie? Like there are no rags to riches stories really. That or Beverly Hillbillies, which was more a take on why poor people shouldn't be able to get rich. And that was full of shit because in reality, if some slack-jawed numbnut decides to shoot oil by accident, out of nowhere, the moment you try to sell it to somebody, billionaires would show up and buy the land for you for like $20,000 and then just like sell it, all the oil for like billions. So much for that idea. I just wanted you to cure up this issue that I have. But there are so many series in Japan, but even when you see the same thing over and over again, they do it in a different way every time. Like Solo Leveling is pretty much like My Hero Academia and Hunter x Hunter at the same time. But even so, the way it's done is completely different because at some point, this nobody becomes the most coveted member of a guild, like the most coveted hunter out of all of them. You're getting tougher, people. Seems like my hammer isn't doing the job. He's got 100 strength. Oh, don't heal. Is that a bunch of type 1s? Hey, baby.
Why won't you die?
She's more skilled in this craft than I am.
Now you will know pain.
She's got a better weapon than me, too. Probably take that one. Dude, why are you always out of fucking stamina? My God. He's always out of stamina, even without the debilitating factor. Which, by the way, he doesn't have. That's a lot of burden. Probably drink it to spell, but I don't know if it's going to work. You like that spin move, huh, baby doll?
I'm just warming up, you pathetic worm. Take that. You're pathetic.
I definitely need to have that one. Okay, so let's go to this. Well, first off, let me strip you. I think I deserved it after that. Oh, I can't see you though. Turn around. Yummy. All right. Sorry. I'm not supposed to be doing that stuff. Turn around. There we go. Oh, yum. Okay. Anyway, I'm not supposed to be doing that stuff. That's disgusting. I'm above that. Yes. What's my equip load doing? Ew, it's pretty rough. Okay, don't I have this equipped? There we go. All right. So now let's go to. Where are my weapons? Oh, there we go. Okay. So this is at 48. It's at 57. Okay, so I'm going to go like that. I'm going to equip this, and we're going to go shortcut. We're going to put this here, and we're going to put that there. And what I'm going to do is whenever I see a ghost or something, I'm going to equip the silver. And whenever I see an organic being, we'll equip, or the non-monster, we'll equip this puppy dog. Swords are a lot lighter, though. I want to get back to using swords. Oh, Nernroot, yeah. I have a lot of Nernroot, by the way. I don't think they were this prominent. Anyway. So, now I'm watching High School DxD, and, I mean, I can write a friggin' thesis on High School DxD about how many layers there are to this show. And it's really high rated. It's really something. But it's infamous because it's practically hentai. It's like so sexual. And one of the things that I've noticed about anime is that for the most part, when it comes to fan service, most of these shows, they give it to you in droves in like the first few episodes. There was a show that when I was growing up, well, actually when I was in college, so we're talking like when I was 19, 20 years old, that used to come on the USA Network after the Monday Night Raw program when it was 2 hours. And it was called Silk Stockings. And one of the things about Silk Stockings, there may have been a story. It was like one of these cop dramas from Florida or whatever. But there was a lot of sexuality to it. But nothing major. Like the most extraordinary thing you would see was like a woman taking her brassiere off. Like that was or having her brassiere strap undone, something like that, or having it was mostly like PG-13 type things. Like women in their undergarments, women in bikinis, stuff like that. But what I always noted was that if the episode didn't have a woman in her undergarments in the first spot or in the second spot, it wasn't in the episode. It wasn't happening. And it was almost as if there was a quota to the sexualized materials. where there had to be like one or two. So there was an episode where these women were being kidnapped and eventually were being slain. A statement that anything that happens negatively to beautiful women, just I don't want to even say because it upsets me. And it would be, in the second spot or whatever, she'd be tied up in her undergarments. Like there was no reason for it, but it was there type of thing. So of course, women undressed is my thing, and I would watch just like the first few, because once I got to the second segment, and here in the United States, if you're not from the United States, you have like 3 or 4 ad breaks in a half an hour program as opposed to Japan where you have the one in between. So if it was by the second commercial break, if I didn't see anything, I'd be like, all right, turn it off. If I did, it was, all right, let's go to town, whatever. Not being explicit. So with anime, it seems like in the series, they win you over in the first few episodes by having the fan service. So when you look at, say, like 7 Deadly Sins, right? In the first few episodes, Liz shows up, she's in a skin-tight outfit, and this is when it seems as though things are kind of made up as they go along. Good grief. Because originally it seemed like Meliodas had no idea who she was, and he was just drawn to her sexually anyway. And then it became that she's the reincarnation of his beloved that keeps coming back as a curse. And I'm going, well, you didn't seem to recognize her at first. However, Meliodas, despite the fact other women wanted him, he still was loyal to Liz, unlike some people, and we're going to get to that in just a sec. But in the first episode, she's like knocked out and everything. He's feeling her up. In the second episode, he says, like, you have to be like a server in my bar. And he puts her in a little skirt number and everything, and he's looking up her skirt. Third episode or fourth episode, they're in the Forest of Illusions, and he takes her panties. Like, it's like stuff, and then he gives them back, and, everything. And she's feeling her head, she's going out, freaking out. I know I put them on and everything. Like, it's just, sometimes I watch this, and I go, do the voiceover actresses have a problem with this? Like, I always wonder, like, are women okay with this stuff? Like, listen, they get paid a lot, especially United States actresses and actors. They're indentured servants. They have to be into it. They have to say something like, oh, it was fun or whatever. I like that, it's nice to be appealing and what have you. But I always wonder, do women... I know they interviewed Trish Stratus when she had a segment that, I was, of course, not at all attracted to when she was my WWE honey beyond all others, even beyond Sunny, when she was young and not a murderer. But, yet, anyway... But, are you... Oh, there you are. But there was a segment that was infamous as people found out more and more about how much of a piece of shit Vince McMahon is. Which I kind of knew already. The guy's making out with women in front of his wife as a segment, a gimmick, wink, wink. I said that to her, I was like, yo, he's cheating. I said that back in 2000. I'm like, yeah, he did a whole segment where he's making out with Trish Stratus right in front of her face. How is he not cheating on her? Like, kidding me? Of course he is. They're just staying married because she's trying to run for fucking mayor or senator or whatever. But there was a segment where Trish Stratus was forced to strip, which I didn't watch 10,000 times, with an intent of something perverse. Not at all. But like in the segment, she's barking like a dog, and she's taking off her top, and she's in her brassiere, and she takes off her skirt, she's in her little thong panties, and it's I'm describing it, and it's turning me on, but it's not turning me on because I'm totally not like. But anyway, so they interviewed her, and she was saying, I didn't, it was just whatever, like, it was just a segment, like, I wasn't taking it, I was just acting, and I'm thinking, but doesn't it bother you? Like, you gotta be, listen, she posed topless and shit, it's not like she's against the idea. And I love women being discreet and having standards and everything like that, but you should love yourself, and if you've got a beautiful body, I always said if I had like the 6-pack abs and everything, I would barely wear shirts, but it's not because I'm a skank, it's just because I would have pride in what I work hard and I got this, so I don't blame you. But I just wonder if, when these women, especially the United States English voiceover actresses, when they have to say things about a guy like stealing their underwear or stuff, like, does it bother them? Like, do you feel uncomfortable with it? But whatever. So like the first few episodes, he's totally just digging in, and then it's like it sort of fades out to a point where Dion shows him her panties because she wants him to jump her, and he won't do it, even though she then falls in love with King. But King was always in love with her, which I don't blame him. She's Dion. She's a giantess goddess. But like at that point, I was kind of watching the show and I was getting into it. And I wanted to see what was happening, but I'm saying like anyone's clothes, like Liz's clothes coming off at any point. Like she was even naked because they both got shrunk by a mushroom, and she was like nude and everything. And I'm going, but is anything like the second season is like there's nothing happening. Date Alive too. It was the first few seasons they're trying to impress them, and you see a little bit of this and a little bit of that. There was an episode where Kitiko, or whatever her name was, my beloved nightmare, who, my God, I just adored her. She undresses in front of him completely, and it's like, it's a cartoon, and you don't want it to be like that, but it is. Because the United States doesn't do shit like this. So, and I don't get it in real life, so they're like, whatever. But it sort of, like, ends on a very wholesome note. So now with High School DxD, in the first episode, for no reason whatsoever, we see the beloved, gorgeous, stunning, demonic goddess known as Rias Gremory, who's like one of the main characters of the show. Probably the main character, even though it's revolving around this fucking Issei cunt. And she just undresses completely from full uniform and everything and takes a shower for no fucking reason whatsoever. And I went, whoa! And you saw everything. And I said, so it's going to be this kind of show. In the second episode, she's naked and she gets dressed and she does something that makes my eyes spin in the back of my head. When she is putting on her brassiere, and of course they show her, fixing her boobs and whatever inside, and she tells him to fasten her up, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to marry you. But then as it goes, of course there's a naked woman quota, and they give him an ability where he strips women like the scumbag that he is in front of other people, in front of other women, to embarrass them and win a fight, which he rarely does, but whatever. And at some point it just becomes, all right, you'll see something, upskirt shot, whatever, but it's not like it was originally. But as you go along with this show, you're noticing that it's not only is it commentary about family and everything like that, but you're also noticing that it's commentary on cliques and how trying so hard to impress a certain group of people, like everybody is so devoted, no matter what their background is. Some of them were church servants. Some of them were, angels themselves, whatever it is. But no matter how devoted they are, and you can say they're hopelessly devoted to their cause, they devote themselves to this demonic family. And now, although the reward seems pretty well placed, hi baby doll, and positive for you and what you would want, especially for him, Issei. Ultimately, what it comes down to is that
have a look around.
You're sort of giving yourself up completely to these people, and you're losing yourself as a whole. So, yeah, I picked up a freaking bone. Jeez. So, do I want to keep this right now? I'm not using swords. Yeah, let me get rid of this right now. So, you never see his parents, even though they live in the same house. You see her brother more, but it's like because they're working for this group specifically.
You drive a hard bargain.
But like, their families are gone, their belief systems are gone. Like,
an excellent bargain.
It's almost as if they're saying that becoming one with these cults is as much a detriment as it is a benefit for anybody.
Thank you for your business.
And you can tell that it's very discreet, but it's there. So it was amazing how layered this one is. And there are a lot of touching moments, a lot of deep moments and everything like that. So the show itself is a great show, but there are some suggestive concepts that I kind of have an issue with. and I don't really want to get into them, but the big issue I have with this show, even though it's really good and it's got a lot of fan service for people like me, even though it's kind of dying down a little bit, but the thing about this show is Issei himself. And I fucking despise this character. I fucking despise this character. Because it's such a stupid ass change and break from what the show is building up. Here you have this royal family and they're obsessed.
Finish out the contract with Vienna.
And I get the fact that they're demons, so they're perverse and
What's the
everything.
status?
It's done, dick.
Got a sword and armor for her, huh? Not bad work, meat. Here's your payment for the contract.
Alrighty. Anything else?
This guild is going to hell in a hog cart. Look at what they give me. Keld of the Isles, Odin Bar, both guardian rank. Pah, useless.
We got me.
Bye.
Alright, so you don't have anything else. Where are we going next? But, you know, you're talking about royal families and everything like that. You're talking about her and Akeno and like these gorgeous women and everything. And the way they set him up was that he was one of 3 loser douchebags who one of the women there in an all-women's. And I love this scenario as Japan conjures up. Oh, I forgot to go to bed. They always do this thing where, like, you're the last man left on Earth, or you're stranded on an island with these gorgeous women, or, you know, they had an all-women's academy that just suddenly became co-ed yesterday, and now they have, like, 5 guys in it. Whatever the case, it's always that it's a group of guys or one guy overwhelmed by women. And I'm telling you, I love the idea. I like how you're thinking, because that's heaven to me. I like the way you think. It's like the joke about how you know a woman's married. But can we get a bed in here? So he's this like loser that's just inappropriately horny and everything like that. Well, not inappropriately horny, inappropriate explicit in his talk. He's a fraud. He's not real. You know what I mean? Because he talks and he talks. He talks about boobies and titties and this, that, and the other thing, and has a million different ways of talking about him. And he's obsessed with grabbing them and all this shit. And yet, when a woman's throwing herself at him, he's a complete fucking... He's not even like one of these proper Japanese... He's just scared shitless. But whatever the case, the reason why the show annoys me so much because of him is it has heart. And it has people that know how to speak on a proper level. And it has... There we go. All right, let's get a couple hours. And it has the concept of royalty and everything. And it has the concept of family. And as I said, I get that they're demons, so they're perverse anyway. But when the brother is, like, telling him to do things to his sister, I'm going, yo, dude, I get that you're Lucifer, but come on, man. You have the power to just tell this little cocksucker, get the hell away from her, I swear to God. And instead, you're like, you're giving him incentive to manipulate your little sister like she's just a piece of it. No, this still won't go away. All right, we got to go to a temple. If you're a sinner, though, and you haven't redeemed yourself, the temple won't cure you. So we got to see what's going on. But there's nothing about, do I have a disease? I don't think I have a disease. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Doesn't say I do. Active effects. Oh, magic. No, nothing active here. So, like, I have no idea what's wrong with me. They just stole it from me. So anyway. So they have this whole system in place, this world building and everything with their royalty and shit like that. And here's this fucking douchebag, this loser, scrawny ass piece of shit nobody that nobody likes. Even his own parents think he's a waste. Who goes out on one date with a woman, gets killed because she ends up to be a fallen angel, and he's got this dragon thing inside of him, this crimson dragon, who's like this all-powerful defensive unit or whatever. Let's sell some potions. And more or less in a society that's about working hard and redeeming yourself and building yourself up, Midoriya, by season 3, had saved so many people, and with his bones breaking constantly, worked hard, busted his ass, got jacked and everything like that, and was able to measure some kind of control over one of the most Okay, there we go. One of the most extraordinary gifts or unnatural abilities that you could possibly have. And he mastered it by just dedication and commitment and everything. You talk about soul leveling, and the main character was a nobody, gets reborn, and breaks the system by just busting his ass. This is the society about, even Clover, Black Clover, he's busting his ass. This is the society about busting your ass and getting somewhere. And here this little fuck, just because he's got this dragon inside of him, is like so coveted and so powerful. And he doesn't do anything. His training regimen is like Luke Skywalker. He fails for 3 weeks and suddenly he's super strong and he can do whatever he wants. And all he does is like, he makes promises he never keeps about protecting this one. I'm going to protect you. And the woman gets kidnapped. The woman gets tortured. The woman gets killed. And then he screams out their name, gets all like jacked up on dragonroids. And then next thing you know, he's kind of winning a battle, kind of not. And then it's, oh, easy, you saved me. And I'm going, oh, for fuck's sake. So they have serious undertones. They have serious concepts. They deal in something really deep. And there is a lot of like Bayonetta sexual innuendo and shit. Like the big dragons known as double D or DD. Like, you know, there's always like that sort of double entendre shit that they do a lot in the English version anyway. But you then have this main character that goes against everything, where he doesn't work hard. He just has it all handed to him. The women throw themselves at him, even though he never did anything impressive. He's just a fucking waste of space. And he has a foul mouth. He doesn't know how to talk to a woman. He's got this goddess that's getting jealous of her own best friends because of him and how they feel about him and how he seems to feel about them. She's stunning. She's stacked. She's beautiful. He talks to her like she's a fucking a figurine. He says the most rancid things. He can't watch his fucking mouth around her. He strips her. He makes her like expose herself to people just to get himself motivated to do what he needs to do. He's just such a fucking derelict piece of shit. And as she's sleeping naked with him every night and everything like that, he's just, Azia. It's like, oh, dude, go fuck yourself. I can't stand you. So as much as I love the concept of the show, although it's kind of like leveled itself down a bit towards later seasons, as much as I love the ideals, he goes against everything that makes the main hero representative of the stories being told. Do you have any shops here? So I'm like confused. I'm in love with the women.
Stand clear.
I love the show more or less, but I fucking despise him and what he represents so much. If it was just they made him into a joke and they would tease him and they would laugh at him because he was pathetic and couldn't do anything to please them in any way, that would be one thing. If they were all just a bunch of dirty skanks because they were demons and everything like that, and, you know, it was just, well, here's another notch on the belt, okay, whatever. Fantasy, whatever. But these are sweet, innocent women who never even kissed a man before, and they want to give it all up for this fucking guy? And what's his response? Boobies! It's like, I can't fucking stand him. Every time he pops up, I'm like, I'm not the type to talk during anything. I don't talk during movies, whatever. I might joke in a whisper, but I don't talk during that because I want to be in the moment. But I'll be watching this by myself and saying stuff like, this fucking guy, I fucking despise you, dude, fucking burn it out. Like, I'll say stuff like, it's like, that's not me. Every time I talk, it's like, well, that's because you're a fucking pussy. Like, I'll just like yell shit out. So I'm confused about this. I want to finish the show and then I want to move on to Kanabusa. I'm going to move on to that. My friend told me that was really good. I want to move on with that, and then I want to watch some other stuff that's kind of like, you know, romance comedy type things. But I might give up on that hentai ecchi shit for a bit. Maybe. I'll say.
What can I do for you?
Let's see what we got. All right, so let's do this. Gonna make up for yesterday. We'll have a little bit of a longer video here. As long as you buy potions, that's all I care about. You know what? I might want to get my hammers back. Ooh, hammer. And then we're gonna go with the potions. Okay, so let's get rid of this. You have what kind of gold? Oh yeah, no, we're good. So, High School DxD, for the first few episodes, if you really want to... I mean, they don't even show you much afterwards. You know, it's like... They show you so they'll get naked, of course. He strips women, like, in front of everybody. And even, like, the Nekomata young woman will say, like, he's the worst, and he's a villain to all women and stuff. And yet, they still just are all over him. It drives me fucking crazy. And it doesn't even take much. Like, they'll open their hearts to him, and he'll be like, well, I'm here, I'll help you out. And they're like, oh my god, you're like, you know, the second coming. And it just drives me crazy. Because I'm saying, if it was just a joke, and it was like they teased him, cool. If it was just a joke, and it was just supposed to be humorous, and why would these women want this guy? Okay, but then you go serious. And you make it like it's almost wholesome, which I know it's not. I know that they're telling a story about cults and shit. That's it? That's all I got? I thought I meant like 100 potions. Oh, whatever.
I appreciate your business. You too.
Alrighty, so what do we got now? What kind of gold? Personality went up to 62. Personality, what? Oh, that's because of my chain. Alright, we got room 3,200. I want to buy a house. Not now, though. So that's why, like, as I said, I'm kind of confused with this show. I love it, but I want to get it over with for some reason. Even in the last episode, which was the first episode of 4, which seemed to be a retelling completely of a previous episode, they added a scene because they did this thing where the underworld is fascinated by him to the point where he's a celebrity because his main motivation is to grope women and, you know, and everything like that. Even though when they throw themselves at him, he can't do anything but cry to his mommy. But whatever the case, they made this like kid song. And again, her brother Lucifer, again, it's Lucifer, but they're trying to make it like it's almost like this family thing. The brother writes the lyrics of him groping his own sister. If I were Lucifer, I would have turned him into a friggin' like gnat and swatted him by now. Like, keep your fucking filthy, low-born hands off my sister, you piece of shit. You can't even please her anyway. She's madly in love with you, and you don't even fucking consider her, you stupid ass. She's sleeping naked with you, and you're talking about being a harem king. Like, I fucking despise you. Was Coral the next one? Is it Skinrad? It's not Kavach. Is it Anvil? I think it was Anvil. I think we have to go here. So anyway, they changed it to where he's freaking out. He's the dragon shit. And he's going nuts, and he's going to lose himself. I'm like, good, let him die. But no, we have to save Issei. We have to save Issei. Whatever, save fucking Issei. And they changed it to the point where... Oh, wow, you just come running up to me.
Die, Imperial, die!
That hit somebody, right? I don't feel like I'm hitting anybody. There we go. Alright, you know what? And then it gets to a point where it's like he's just completely berserk and he's not stopping and everything. Almost looks like he has an ability to fight. And they change it up that...
What is it, citizen?
Nothing, I'm just going to strip this young Type 1, if you don't mind. Oh. See, I'm so much of a more decent man than him. But they get to a point where, like, he's berserk and they're trying to win him over, so they say music can calm the wild beast. And they bring this, like, Odin brings them this. Odin's great. Odin's fucking great. Because Japan knows mythology. Like, so they make him into this Hornmeister. And the best is Akano, this stunning, gorgeous, you know, like Hitomi Tanaka cartoon woman. She's just absolutely gorgeous. She's all over freaking Issei, but then at one point, she kind of screams while they're distracted by something, and it's Odin lifting up her skirt. And she's all embarrassed. I'm like, you fucking sleep naked with a scrub. Like, why are you embarrassed about it? I love it, though. I love it. Just, you know, discretion. It's only for one man. I get it. Even though he wants all these women that he can't handle. He can't handle half a woman. So, like, they play this song that the brother and their aligned fallen angel, Azazel, was it Azazel or Zabadon? I forgot. I think it's Azazel. Wrote about him groping women and stuff like that, which made all the kids in the underworld happy and everything. They play this song, and now he's starting to settle down. And he's still in draconic form, which is this massive armor. So they tell my beloved, Rias, you have to go to him. You have to let him grope you. You have to let him feel you up in front of all these people yet again. And she's embarrassed, of course, you know. And I'm going, will you leave my beloved alone? He's got like impenetrable gauntlets. I don't want him hurting her. Like, what are you trying to do here, you know? And sure enough, because she needs her Issei back, she walks over to him, pulls the brassiere down. I'm like, and he feels her up. I'm like, fucking, what? What is this? Why? He didn't earn this. He can't even speak to her correctly, like, properly. Like, come on, man. Gets what he wants. He's an asshole. And it's the same episode where they're fighting to save Azia, and she's my sister, and then you pull this shit where this fucking jerk off just gets what he wants. So I'm like, what are you? Are you a comic? If it was for comedic purpose, all right, whatever. I got to see cartoon boobs again, and they're fantastic. But you're like being serious, and so I gotta take that seriously. I'm going, he didn't earn anything. Doesn't deserve this. So anyway, so like I said, so you know, anime will change your life. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. It's real storytelling. We in the United States, we have to go to this, since trying to find international movies is not really something we're capable of doing, really. So we have to go to Japanese cartoons to get real storytelling. So can I suggest? I can suggest pretty much every show. Hunter x Hunter, but every show that I've watched, I would definitely suggest, especially Solo Leveling is amazing. Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm kind of cool with. It got very over the top with the rules and shit. To the point, and there's so many names I couldn't keep track. I'm terrible with names as it is, especially Japanese names. It's like I can't keep track of those. I can barely keep track of guys named Bob. And I'm getting really sick of guys named Todd. Just a goofy fucking name. Hi, what's your name? Todd. Mrs. Blake and Blair and Blaine and Brent. Where are these goofy fucking boys' names coming from? Taylor, Tyler, Jordan, Flynn. These are not real names. Sorry, anyway. But there was a lot going on. The animation was incredible. The art style was incredible. It tells a story that's, you know, about like who the real monsters are and stuff like. It tells it so brilliantly. A lot of beautiful women in that one. That's very important to me. At one point, there was a woman that was like a reborn curse user who was nude, but she had the important areas covered by like some kind of cloud thing or sky thing. So obviously I was just, and I think she was voiced over by the woman that does Celica's voice, which is another one of these voices I just absolutely love. That like she can give me like a shopping list and I'd be like, oh baby, I love you. Like the woman that does, we're talking the English voiceovers. The woman that does Rias's voice, I've heard her many times before. So freaking sexy. Such a sexy voice. Such a deep, sexy voice. And they changed some of the characters' voices in that one too. Like Nafumi's voiceover actor was changed in Rising the Shield Hero. All the other ones were the same. Bernadetta played Raftalia. She's like in everything. But yeah, I think she was Celica's voiceover. I could be wrong. But you know, that was really good. Very serious for the most part. There is some humor. They killed one of my beloveds. Killed a lot of beautiful women in that one in very heinous ways. Because Japan, man, everyone's equal in that sense. But Hunter x Hunter, like I said, I don't know. High School DxD, as long as Issei doesn't fucking annoy you like he does. I mean, it could be, I'm not jealous of a cartoon character. But there could be something to it in the sense that you should treat women better than that. And the idea that you would treat a woman like that or talk about a woman like that, to me, just pisses me off. But even so, it's just like he doesn't earn anything and yet he gets whatever he wants. But there is more of a story being told than what's face value in that one. So I would definitely suggest that to an extent. Maybe. But the ones you can't miss, if you have any interest at all, Demon Slayer is just fucking my god. That show is my god. And the first of the 3 movies that they're gonna release, my god, man. My god. Solo Leveling, I would say, was right after that. My Hero Academia, phenomenal. Love My Hero Academia. Absolutely amazing show. All 8 seasons, I should say. The movies. tremendous. That's tremendous. That's like top notch. Black Clover, we're going to see. This crab is freaking out. Having a seizure or something. But so far, I'm impressed. Like, a lot of them are really good. Now, let me kill this mud crab and let's finish here, because this is getting way too long. And I'm babbling about nothing important. So, we'll be back on. Let me save this game, and we'll be back on tomorrow with more. Till then.